It is time now for the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news. It is late Friday night, January 22nd, 2016. Good evening, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins. At 11 o'clock news line there. Top story here at 11 o'clock on this late Friday night here is the big story of the 11 o'clock hour tonight. Heavy snow band sweeping throughout the region tonight as up and down the East Coast are getting ready and bracing for the worst of this blizzard and snowstorm that's in the eastern United States right now. Whereas we want more on that coming up on the weather segment of the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news. In other news, 4 people were killed and the alleged shooter was arrested Friday after gunfire erupted at a school in a small town in northern Saskatchewan. Chief Superintendent Maureen Levy of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police said Friday night. Kicking the diet, Kevin President says Oscar changes are the right thing to do as a United plane slides off runway at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport Friday shortly afternoon. Port-au-Prince Haiti, a runoff election to choose the next president in Haiti was delayed on Friday less than 48 hours before it was to take place as protesters were expected to rig and begin to block roads and burn voting centers. Viacom Chief Executive Philip Diamond received a compensation package in fiscal 2015 valued at $54.2 million, according to the proxy filed on Friday. Mogadishu, Somalia. At least 20 people died and 17 people were wounded when a suicide car bomber and gunmen attacked a beachside restaurant hotel in the capital of Somalia, authorities said. Kasserine, Tunisia. Tunisia's president vowed Friday to end the cycle of unrest that has pummeled towns across the country as authorities imposed a nationwide curfew 5 years after the nation convulsed by protests overthrew its longtime ruler. London. Google said on Friday to pay the UK tax authority £130 million in back taxes prompted criticism from campaigners and academics who said the UK tax authority had agreed a sweetheart deal. Thursday's official British report in Polonia murdered descendant Alexander Lukashenko fans that Vladimir Putin proved to kill him. Months after the warning signs emerged from about problems in the water in Flint, Michigan City, state and federal officials are responding to the public health emergency. On Tuesday, the U.S. Coast Guard suspended the active search for the missing Marines after 5 full days of searching to no sign of survivors as 12 Marines missing after a double helicopter crash off Hawaii. At least 9 are killed in snowstorm-related deaths around none. Region has blizzard minutes in each United States started dumping snow in Virginia, Tennessee, and parts of the South and in the East Coast. Air by 3 airmen troubleshooting the nuclear missile on the launch style of 2014 triggered a mishap that damaged a missile pumped to the Air Force to strip the airmen of the nuclear certification and quietly launch an accident investigation. A National Labor Relations Board judge has ruled that Walmart unlawfully disciplined workers who staged protests in 2013 in order to retail state 16 former employees as well as to give them back pay. Wall Street surged 2% on Friday to wrap up its first positive week in 2016 as a cold snap in the United States and Europe sent oil prices sharply higher. As we take a look at the stock market report, the Dow up 210.83 points at 69.93.51. S&P 500 up 37.91 points at 1906.90. And NASDAQ up 119.12 points at 4,591.18. Zebra and grassy plains looks at researchers monitor as a zebra grazes at a grassy plains gazes as a researcher's chart used for color calculating images. The email from NASA Commander Scott Kelly arrived 2 weeks ago. Very good news, the ping pong paddles were finally aboard the International Space Station. A steady new image from the Hubble Space Telescope shows the Jupiter 14 star cluster home to the brighter stars of the galaxy. Scientists argue early Armageddon stuffs out alien life before it has a chance to evolve. Mexico City, the rapid spread of Zika virus has sparked the Latin American government to urge women not to get pregnant up to 2 years an extraordinary precaution that avoided birth defects believed to be linked to the mosquito-borne illness. Dole Fresh Vegetables Incorporated on Friday announced a voluntary recall involving a salad package at one of the company's facilities in Springfield, Ohio. Florida leads the nation in new HIV infection methods not being treated as pressed by Governor Rick Scott and the state's top health officer. Washington, a serious birth defect that leaves a newborn's intestine dangling outside of the body is becoming increasingly common and health officials aren't sure what's causing it. Alright, look at that New England alerts here at 11:04 p.m. The latest on the storm in Trenton, New Jersey. Governor Chris Christie has declared a state of emergency for all New Jersey, urges all non-essential personnel to remain off the road for snow removal purposes. Here, Peter Channel News Time is now 11:04 p.m. here, and it is time now for a travel report. Let's study up Dan Renan here. Well, looking at the traffic situation here, it is looking good here on 195 on the westbound side of the accident here after Route 6 into the Swansea Somerset stretch here. Mass parking in the westbound side a little slower around the Alston Brent tolls here. I-91 in the southbound side in New Haven, Connecticut here. Get a little slowness from 80 in North Brentford all the way up to the Long Wharf in New Haven here. I-291 in the southbound side a little slower than the Mass Pike in Springfield here. Mass Pike in the eastbound side also slow before Route 128 in Weston here. 93 in the southbound side in Derry, New Hampshire. We got an accident around Route 102 in Derry, New Hampshire, so expect some delays here. But highways in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine are looking good here. Except the main turnpike on the southbound side a little slow before the Gray interchange here. I-87 on the southbound side a little slow. Up in upstate New York around Hammond Pond here. Alright, let's take a look at what is going on with the roads during the blizzard here. That is going on right now. In New York City, the west side parkway is slow from the George Washington Bridge all the way up to Lincoln Tunnel here. 495, it is slow from New York City all the way up to Queens on the eastbound side. Brooklyn Queens Expressway is bottled up here. 295 on the northbound side around the Whitestone Bridge, it's a little slow here. And highways around the Newark area looking good. A little slow, but look at the roads. All the highways in New Jersey are slow from Newark and Point south here. And look at that, the commute around the Philadelphia area and around the Delaware Valley. It's all bottled up due to the heavy, heavy snow. So those of you in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and also look at Maryland, all the highways in Maryland are slow. And the DC area, every highway is very, very slow due to the snowstorm here. And the Pennsylvania Turnpike is all slow from Philly all the way up to Pittsburgh here. So, if you are trying to drive, you should not be on the roads because it is nasty. And down in Virginia here, not such good news here. On the highways of Virginia are not looking so good here. And in North Carolina here, it is slow around the Durham, Greensboro, Charlotte, and Asheville areas here. And I-85, it's slow on both ends, but the South Carolina here. And Nashville is not faring much better from this traffic alert from Nashville down to Knoxville and Nashville down to Huntsville. And Nashville up to Kentucky here. And I-64 is backed up from Lexington down for Louisville. And I-75 is backed up from Knoxville down for Cincinnati. And I-70 is slow from Columbus all the way at the Pennsylvania border. So if you have some travel to do, you should stay home all over the place because it is going to be nasty out. And look at that MBTA alert here. Civil 1, SL1 experiencing minor delays. Same for SL5 and SL2 experiencing minor delays here. Commuter rail, favorite line, train 226 operated 15-20 minutes beyond schedule between Brentford and Station and North Station due to later railroad outbound train here. And ferries, they are looking good. Peter Channel News time is now 11:08 p.m. and it is time now for weather report. And here is the latest on the East Coast blizzard storm of 2016 here. The storm is getting close to our neck to the woods here. It'll be dry overnight, and I'm expecting the most snow on the coast here. 40 to 50 miles along the coast, and here are my predictions here. 1 to 3 inches for Boston and vicinity, and points north and west here. Up to a quarter to 3 inches. I'm expecting 3 to 7 inches for southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and 7 to 12 inches for southeast Massachusetts coast and Cape Pinellas here. And when you go down 95, the totals get higher. For New York and Philadelphia and Harrisburg, 12 to 18 inches or more. Pittsburgh should get about 5 to 10 inches, and I'm expecting Baltimore and DC and Roanoke to be in the jackpot area. 18 and 24 inches with 2 feet or more of snow. So expect this to be a very, very snowing overnight and tap for you here. Here we are. 12 hours. Storm 12 noon to midnight tomorrow. Light snow around Boston, and I expected heavy snow Saturday along the coast with some minor coastal flooding on Saturday afternoon and Sunday. If you've got some travel plans around New England, expect it to be good travel in the morning. It's be fair travel noon to midnight, where the trickiest travel will be the south coast of Massachusetts and Cape Towns and coastal down here. And Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York City are urging the residents to stay off the roads here, and same that goes for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Alright. Winter storm warning until 7 a.m. Sunday for South Shore, Cape Cod, South Coast, and coastal down here. Coastal flood watch Sunday 11 a.m. high tide for South Shore, Cape Cod, and Nantucket here. And blizzard watch from Martha's Vineyard until 1 p.m. and also a blizzard warning for the Martha's Vineyard until 1 p.m. And blizzard warning also for New York City to D.C. And 6,000 flights have been canceled here, and Amtrak up and down a moderate flight schedule in the Northeast Corridor here. Alright, let's take a look at the latest in the radar situation here. The latest on the blizzard here. This is the storm from southern New York and down through New York City, Trenton, Dover, Washington, Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, down to Columbus, Cincinnati, and the eastern portions of Kentucky and Tennessee, down through western Carolinas and Georgia. So, right now, southern New York, all of New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, northwestern Georgia are all in getting snow, and this is the heaviest band of snow. So if you're in that area, try to be safe and be calm and ride the snow out in the comforts of your home and not on the roads here. And this is a line of sleet from Richmond stretching into eastern Virginia, and also sleeting around eastern portions of North Carolina, around eastern Raleigh, and some snow and sleet around the Charlotte area here, and some snow around northwestern portions of South Carolina here. And let us take a look at the airport delays here. Oh my! Let's see, 6,000 flights have been canceled here. And Amtrak operating on a modified schedule in the Northeast Corridor for now here. But I'm expecting Amtrak to try to cancel service once the storm gets bad, because you don't want to be operating a train on the tracks in very heavy snow and wind, because that will be a recipe for disaster here. Alright, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. It goes like this here. We are under a winter weather advisory here. We're under a winter weather advisory in effect from 4 a.m. tomorrow to 7 a.m. Sunday morning here. For locations, Norfolk, Connecticut, Norfolk, Rhode Island, and adjacent areas of Southeast Massachusetts cities and towns and advisory include Hartford, Windsor, Union, Vernon, Putnam, Wilmette, Taunton, Brockton, Foster, Smithfield, and Providence. Saturday type snow. Accumulation of 3 to 6 inches, and Saturday snow will be developed around mid to late morning. Saturday may be briefly heavy at times, and the afternoon and evening has gusts winds up to 35 miles combined with a snow will result in blown and snow poor visibility. At times the snow will begin tapering off after midnight on Saturday night. Impacts hazardous travel with snow, covering roads and poor visibility. Winds northeast by 10 to 20 miles an hour with a gust up to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures in the 20s and visibility 1.25 mile tops, and winter advisories issued when snow and ice forecast and develop in the affected areas, but accumulations are expected to be light. Any snow and ice will result in slippery conditions on treated roadways and sidewalks. When temperatures are below freezing, motorists need to be especially careful on bridges and overpasses where slippery spots can easily develop here. And day 1 tonight has been not expected to time. Day 2 for Saturday for Thursday. Strong winds and coastal flooding are likely across portions of eastern Massachusetts, and we are risk of heavy snow across the region with the greatest threat over Rhode Island and southeast Massachusetts if storm tracks Closer to the coast, heavy snow will be possibly farther north, and conversely, the storm tracks further offshore. The threat will be heavy snow will diminish, and disordered effects will depend upon the exact tracking system. And stay tuned to the latest information on this potential winter storm here. Alright, 7-day forecast goes like this. Tonight, clouds got low at 20 degrees, north about 6 to 8 miles an hour. Saturday, snow likely afternoon. Clouds got high about 31 degrees, plus wind northeast with about 13 to 21 miles gust size, 31 miles an hour, just based to 70%. New circulation 1 to 2 inches possible. Saturday night, snow be before 5 a.m., low at 20 degrees, plus wind north with about 18 to 21 miles an hour, just based to 8%. New circulation 2 to 4 inches possible. Sunday, most of the 7-day forecast got about 33, about 17 degrees, north with about 6 to 15, winds shifted to Sunday night. West at 3 to 5 miles an hour here for Monday, Senate to podcast guy about 37 to about 26 degrees. Tuesday, parts of the most guys got about 44 to about 30 degrees. Wednesday, most of the podcast guys about 40 to about 23 degrees. Thursday, most of the Senate podcast guys have about 37 to about 25 degrees. And for Friday, check the snow, parts of the sky about 38 degrees, just based on 30%. Currently, not near it's 23 degrees of clear skies and a humidity 72%. And the latest radar updated shows snow creeping in and Southwest Connecticut, west of Stamford, Connecticut, and around the New York City area and around Islip here. People, so you'll have a good night with a good bye tonight, and be safe out in the roads and be safe out there in the area of the blizzard and be safe. And I'll see you tomorrow morning with a morning report with a latest on the historic and East Coast blizzard snowstorm of 2016. Good night. See you tomorrow morning.